Welcome back, guys, to another video on the Ben Glander football channel. Today we have some possible positive news regarding West Ham, which seems to be a rare occurrence these days, as we are planning to bid for James Tarkowski of Burnley. But before we get into it, guys, where I'll break down what he could possibly bring to West Ham and sort of all the talk regarding his possible transfer, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're close to 800 subscribers. My goal is to hit 1,000 by the end of September. So, guys, if you want to see more West Ham content, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button, as that'd be greatly appreciated. Now, when Diangana got announced that he was a West Brom Albion player, there was rumours coming out of the club that we was not going to reinvest that money into side Ben Rama of Brentford as a sort of a like-for-like replacement. However, it does seem to be that David Moyes wants to invest this money into a centre-back. Now, in my opinion, we should be prioritising fullbacks, as you know, it's well publicised that West Ham haven't spent any money on fullbacks for the past 5 or 10 years. I think, you know, the most expensive is probably Masuaku at about £5 million. That just shows you how, you know, the lack of spending in that area. However, I do realise that the centre-backs do need to be addressed. Ogbonna is ageing, he's like 31 years of age. He is our best central defender. We have Diop, who's hit and miss. Yes, he's young, but he's still very hit and miss. And David Moyes has already, you know, basically publicly made it clear that he doesn't really rate Fabian Balbuena, and he is our backup centre-back. So any injury, major injury to Diop or Ogbonna, mainly Ogbonna though, we could be in a lot of trouble. So it does seem to be that West Ham are prioritising James Tarkowski as their #1 transfer target with the money they've accumulated through transfers. Now let's just get into it. So West Ham are ready to make an improved offer for Burnley defender James Tarkowski this week as they look to ease the unrest at the club. Owners of David Sullivan and David Gold are under fire after captain Mark Noble criticised the decision to sell Diangana to West Brom. The Saudi Academy graduate sparked outrage amongst fans, some of whom are planning a protest against Newcastle on Saturday. West Ham have made 2 bids for Tarkowski, the latest being 27 million, but an offer of around about 30 million plus add-ons could be enough. Tarkowski, who has 2 years left on his contract, is keen to leave Burnley as he bids to force his way back into England squad. Tarkowski has been a long target for West Ham boss David Moyes, who's keen to add experience at the heart of the back four, but needs to sell before he can buy. Well, we've sold Diangana, Jetty, Hugill. We've got money, we should have money, and apparently we, at the beginning, before we even sold players, we set money aside for defenders, according to XWHU employees. So really, we should have money. Now, Matt Law, James Tarkowski, actually done sort of an interview where he feels forgotten by England. You know, he gives his reasons why he maybe have been forgotten by Gareth Southgate. Talk about his club future. We're not interested about the same team as Ronaldo and Messi. But I say that we're not interested. It is actually knowledge that he was in the team of the season. So, essentially, who scored based on all the statistics that they gather throughout the season, they've made a starting 11. James Tarkowski was the second best centre-back in Europe. Unreal. What can I say? Anyway, let's get back into this. So, essentially, I can't really open it, but essentially what it says is that he wants to... He's sort of a similar situation, possibly, as Declan Rice. He's not going to force a transfer, but if a bid come in, he would be maybe open to leaving, right? He basically explains that he wants to get back into the England squad. He feels like, you know, there may be some kind of club bias because of the fact that despite him, you know, Burnley having the most amount of clean sheets, he's not getting picked for England despite the lack of options right now in the English department in centre-back. So, very interesting that he may want to leave for possibly a Champions League club. Leicester are our main competitors. However, West Ham News and Views actually made a very, very good point. Leicester is the one we're going to be competing with. Tarkowski has said in that interview that he wants to play at the top level, the highest possible level he can, whether it's Champions League or Europa League. But it does look like that we are the favourites at the moment. If you're going by betting odds, we are the favourites to sign Tarkowski, despite the fact that XWH employee said that he might not be interested. But it does look like West Ham maybe getting somewhere with this transfer, because surely West Ham wouldn't just continue with a transfer or try and persuade someone if there was no hint from the other side that he might be persuaded or he might want to join the club. He makes a valid point. I understand people saying Burnley are arguably better than us at the moment, which is 100% true. Sean Dyche has probably taken them to sort of their maximum peak. He's taken them to 7th before, you know, Europa League. So with the money that he might be able to get with Tarkowski, he could be able to reinvest that in the squad. I understand people saying Burnley are better than us at the moment, but despite Tarkowski having a very good season for Burnley, he still didn't get called up for England. And we see that with Nick Pope. I think, in my opinion, Nick Pope should be England's number one. And maybe there's a bit of bias going towards Burnley players because of the style of football they play, that Sean Dyche sort of inherits with the squad that he's got, that Gareth Southgate thinks, well, they play that certain style, they're not really suited to my England team in the way he wants to play, where he likes to play out from the back, get those centre-backs on the ball, being comfortable on the ball, bringing the ball out from the back. Yet Declan Rice, who was in a relegation battle this season, did. That is the difference. And I think that's 100% correct, despite the fact that, we are, as a club at the moment, in turmoil, right? There's so much, negativity going around the team at the moment and the club. We are still probably a pull for some players like James Tarkowski, who are not getting those games for England, probably despite the fact they should be getting the games for England, that we're still a big enough pull because we've got someone like Declan Rice who's in the squad, who is playing regular football for England and starting games. Again, he played 90 minutes against Iceland at the weekend. Despite the fact that he's played no pre-season, he's been injured, he's still played 90 minutes, and Gareth Southgate seems to like him. And it's not just James Tarkowski. You've got Dwight McNeil. I remember Sean Dyche doing an interview a couple of days ago saying that he played every single minute or every game of the Premier League season, getting goals, getting assists, a very good winger, a very good wide player. But because I feel like it's Burnley, the England manager, Gareth Southgate, just doesn't, just because of the style of play, just doesn't want to, put them both together. Now, what would James Tarkowski offer West Ham if he was to join the club? So let's compare, let's compare them. But I was comparing Tarkowski with Ogbonna. Now, he's played 38 games. On average, he makes 1.7 tackles per game, 1.7 interceptions per game, 1.3 fouls, which is more than what Ogbonna actually makes, 0.4 offsides and 5.3 clearances. Now, he played 7 more games than Ogbonna. He's got a lot more. On average, he's got better stats than Ogbonna. And obviously, because of the clean sheets that Burnley have got, him coming into the team is exactly what West Ham need. We need someone who's, firstly, a little bit younger. He's 27, so he's approaching the peak years of his career. He wants to leave Burnley. Whether he's openly expressed that or not, he probably is very open-minded about leaving Burnley. And West Ham possibly could give him the platform to be playing more for England because of the fact that we've got Declan Rice. And if he comes in, he would give that exactly what we need. We need someone who's disciplined, someone who's very good at reading the game, someone who's going to be able to, win headers, be able to position themselves very well. And I think that shows with the amount of clean sheets. Yes, it's not just James Tarkowski. There was games such as when Nick Pope, claws that seem to be unstoppable saves at the top left-hand corner. It's not just James Tarkowski. There is other players such as Ben Mee. He's formed an incredible partnership with Ben Mee. However, if I do think Tarkowski comes into the team, he will be our number one centre-back. He'll be our best centre-back, and he also will probably partner Ogbonna. Now, the question is, how much would you pay for him? And I think, West Ham, apparently offering 30 million. Burnley want close to 40 million. Now, if you compare the fact that we paid £22 million for Issa Diop, we paid £22 million for Issa Diop, who only really had 1 or 2 years in professional football under Toulouse, where if we was going to pay 30 million or 35 million for James Tarkowski, and that is probably my maximum, 35 million maximum, because we are getting someone who's a proven Premier League footballer who gets clean sheets, who knows how to defend well, and of course he's English as well, so that's almost like an English tax. So he's probably 20% more than what we would probably normally pay if he wasn't. And I could understand people maybe saying, right, we could maybe, if we had a scouting network, we could go abroad. We could go abroad and maybe pick someone up for maybe 20 million. We've done that with Diop. He hasn't really turned out the way we hoped for. He's young, however, he's still getting experience in the Premier League. But I feel like West Ham right now need more proven English players, a leader, and for around about 30 to 35 million, I think it's a no-brainer. However, I do need to, stress, we do need to sign fullbacks. In my opinion, if we do sign James Tarkowski, if we've still got Cresswell or Frederick playing left and right back, respectively, we're still in a bit of a pickle because them two coming up against, Salah, Mane, St. Maxim, quick, wide players, Willian, Pepe, the list goes on. We are going to struggle. Adama Traore, we are going to struggle in those wide areas. Just like last year, we're going to struggle. So, guys, that is going to be the end of the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 1,000 by the end of September. Make sure you hit the like button. Let me guys know in the comment section down below what you think of this possible transfer. How much would you pay for James Tarkowski? And also, do you think West Ham should be prioritising other positions such as the left and right back before the centre-back? In my opinion, the whole defence needs to be addressed. The centre-back, you know, we've only got Balbuena and Diop. Ogbona's our number one. We've got poor fullback. So sort of the whole back line needs to be addressed. However, if West Ham do go and spend 35 million, I hope they find some kind of money so they can bring in a fullback or two, whether it's on loan. Just bring some bloody fullbacks in, West Ham, and I'll catch you later.